a charming woman, a wealthy foreign businessman, and a series of suspicious deaths. What looked like a tragic accident turned out to be a cold-blooded scheme, one that shocked an entire nation. Was it love, greed, or a carefully planned web of lies? Stay with us as we uncover the chilling case of Suda Kanchana, the woman who became known as the Black Widow of Bangkok. Hey, true crime fans. I am Eamon, and I am thrilled to share crime tales across times with you. Each episode, we will explore a new case, examining the evidence and discussing the twists and turns. My goal is to create a community where we can discuss these cases, share our thoughts, and learn from each other. So, let us get started. On the night of August 12th, 2015, at 11:45 p.m., emergency services in Bangkok received a frantic call from the Orchid Residences, an upscale high-rise apartment complex overlooking the city's glittering skyline. A security guard, still panting from the shock, reported that a man had fallen from the 23rd floor balcony. When paramedics arrived minutes later, they found John Reynolds, a 52-year-old British businessman, lying lifeless near the building's entrance. His body was twisted from the impact, and blood pooled around his head. His gold watch, a symbol of his success, lay a few feet away, shattered on the pavement. The fall had been instantaneous and fatal. On the 23rd floor, inside the luxury condo, John's wife, Suda Kanchana, stood frozen in the living room, her silk nightgown barely wrinkled. Her eyes were red, her hands trembling, yet her face was eerily expressionless. Through her sobs, Suda told police that John had been drinking heavily that evening. She claimed they had a minor argument, after which he walked onto the balcony with a bottle of whiskey. According to her, he was stumbling and slurring his words, leaning dangerously over the railing as he spoke about work stress and financial troubles. "I tried to stop him," she whispered, clutching a tissue that remained completely dry. "But he was too drunk. He lost his balance, and then he was gone." Police surveyed the scene. There were no signs of a struggle, no forced entry, and no obvious motive for murder. There were even 2 half-filled glasses of whiskey on the coffee table, seemingly supporting Suda's version of events. A few neighbors reported hearing a loud crash, but no one heard a scream or a struggle. With no immediate evidence of foul play, the case was initially ruled a tragic accident, another unfortunate incident of a man drinking too much and making a fatal mistake. But was it really just a drunken accident? Or had John Reynolds trusted the wrong woman? The truth, as investigators would later discover, was far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. Suda Kanchana was no ordinary woman. Born in 1979 in a remote village in Nakhon Ratchasima, Thailand, she grew up in extreme poverty. Her family lived in a tiny wooden hut, surviving on whatever little they could earn from selling fruits at the local market. From a young age, Suda learned that money meant power, and she was determined to have both. At just 15 years old, she dropped out of school and moved to Pattaya, a city known for its nightlife and foreign visitors. By 19, she had made her way to Bangkok, working in upscale bars and nightclubs that catered to wealthy foreign businessmen and tourists. Suda had a gift, a rare ability to charm and manipulate. She was not just beautiful, she was calculating. She knew exactly what men wanted to hear, and she played her role flawlessly. Within a few years, she had married her first foreign husband, a German man 30 years her senior. But Suda did not believe in love. She believed in opportunity. At first, the police accepted Suda's story, an unfortunate accident caused by alcohol. There was no obvious foul play, no clear motive, and no immediate reason to doubt the grieving widow. But John's family was not convinced. His sister, Emma Reynolds, was the first to raise suspicion. She knew her brother well. He was careful, responsible, and never reckless, even when he drank. Something about his sudden death did not add up. Weeks before his death, John had confided in Emma during a phone call. "If anything ever happens to me, look at Suda." That sentence haunted her. Determined to get answers, the Reynolds family hired a private investigator, an ex-police detective with years of experience uncovering fraud and deception. What he found was chilling. John had recently taken out a $500,000 life insurance policy with Suda as the sole beneficiary. The policy had been signed just 2 months before his death. Suda had been married 4 times before, and each of her husbands had died under mysterious circumstances. She had been married before, not once, not twice, but 4 times. Each of her previous husbands had died under mysterious circumstances. Her first husband in 1999 died of an alleged heart attack while vacationing in Phuket. His life insurance payout was $250,000. Her second husband in 2004 fell down a hotel staircase in Chiang Mai. It was declared an accident. Suda inherited his luxury condo and savings. Her third husband in 2009 drowned in a private swimming pool at their beachside villa. The cause of death was ruled as alcohol-related drowning. Her fourth husband in 2013 was killed in a motorcycle accident. Suda was the sole beneficiary of his $500,000 life insurance policy. Each time, she mourned publicly, crying at funerals, wearing black for weeks, before disappearing from the public eye. But behind the scenes, she was already searching for her next victim. John Reynolds was just the latest in her deadly pattern. Not a single family member from her previous marriages had come forward to question her. But this time, she made a critical mistake, one that would finally expose her dark secrets. John had been planning to leave Suda. Emails recovered from his laptop showed that he had reached out to a divorce lawyer just weeks before his death. He had even started moving assets out of their joint accounts, as if he knew he was in danger. This was no accident. This was murder for money. With this new evidence, the police reopened the case and dug deeper into Suda's past. What they discovered next would shock the entire country. In March 2017, after months of relentless investigation, Suda Kanchana was finally arrested in an early morning raid at her luxury condominium in downtown Bangkok. Dressed in a silk robe, she appeared calm yet defiant as officers placed her in handcuffs. She denied all charges, maintaining that she was merely a grieving widow caught in an unfortunate tragedy. However, the mounting evidence told a different story, one of deception, manipulation, and murder. Suda faced charges of first-degree murder and insurance fraud. As she sat in the courtroom, her once carefully cultivated image of a sorrowful widow began to crack. Gone were the designer dresses, the diamonds, and the lavish lifestyle. Now, she wore a prison uniform, her hair tied back in a simple ponytail. But behind her composed expression, her dark past was finally catching up to her. The prosecution meticulously unraveled Suda's deadly scheme, revealing her calculated pattern of marrying wealthy foreign men, ensuring she was their sole financial beneficiary, and then orchestrating their untimely deaths. Each time, she played the perfect grieving widow, claiming their assets and vanishing, only to resurface with a new target. They outlined her method in John Reynolds' case. Forensic toxicologists discovered that John had traces of a powerful sedative in his system, a substance often used to induce drowsiness and impair motor function. This suggested that John was likely incapacitated before he went over the balcony. The whiskey glasses placed neatly on the coffee table were carefully arranged, as if meant to support her story. However, fingerprint analysis revealed something suspicious. John's prints were only found on one glass, while Suda's prints were on both. Investigators argued that she might have placed his prints on the second glass post-mortem to strengthen her false narrative. Just 2 months before John's death, Suda had convinced him to take out a $500,000 life insurance policy, listing herself as the sole beneficiary. She wasted no time in filing a claim shortly after his death, expecting the payout to arrive without suspicion. The most damning evidence was the testimony of John's family and relatives of Suda's previous husbands. Their accounts revealed a haunting pattern. Each of Suda's 4 former spouses had died under similarly mysterious circumstances, and in every case, she had walked away with significant financial gains. Suda's defense team attempted to discredit the prosecution's case, arguing that there was no direct evidence proving that she pushed John off the balcony. They insisted that his death was a tragic accident, blaming his alleged drinking habits and emotional distress. However, the forensic findings tore holes in her defense. 1. John wasn't drunk. Toxicology reports showed that his blood alcohol level was low, contradicting Suda's claim that he was stumbling and highly intoxicated before his fall. 2. The sleeping pills in his system couldn't be explained. 3. Her past marriages raised too many red flags. The odds of 5 husbands dying under suspicious circumstances were simply too implausible to ignore. The verdict: a widow's web unravels. After 6 weeks of trial, the jury deliberated for just 5 hours before reaching a unanimous verdict: guilty of premeditated murder, guilty of insurance fraud. As the judge read out the verdict, Suda remained eerily still, her expression blank, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. The once powerful seductress was now a convicted murderer, stripped of the wealth and control she had spent years accumulating. Her sentence: life in prison, with no possibility of parole. For the first time, the Black Widow of Bangkok was finally caught in her own web. Justice served, but questions remain. John's family, particularly his sister Emma, finally had the answers they had been searching for. As she stepped outside the courthouse, she told reporters, "My brother wasn't reckless. He didn't fall by accident. He was murdered by someone he trusted." While the verdict couldn't bring John back, it ensured that no other man would fall victim to Suda's deadly game. As for Suda, she now faced a lifetime behind bars, in a cramped, windowless cell, far from the luxurious life she had once known. And this time, there was no charming her way out. The case of Suda Kanchana, the Black Widow of Bangkok, is a chilling reminder of how greed and deception can lead to tragic consequences. She carefully crafted a web of lies, manipulating trust and love for financial gain. But in the end, justice prevailed. John Reynolds' story serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder to always be mindful of those we trust, especially when money and power are involved. While justice was served in this case, it leaves us wondering, how many others like Suda are still out there, waiting for their next victim? What do you think? Do you believe Suda acted alone, or do you think she had help? Could there be other victims that were never discovered? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think justice was truly served? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more shocking true crime stories from around the world. Until next time, stay safe and stay vigilant. This is Crime Tales Across Times, signing off.